and thanks for staying with us. The Nigerian Customs Service continue to wage war against rice smugglers operating all over the country. Also on customs report, the retreat on newly decorated controllers ends in Abuja. Plus more report. I am Egiseme Edie. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has continued to preach to members of the National Assembly about the revenue generation of the customs since he came on board. Since he came on board, revenue generation of the service has been increasing in most commands like the seaports and airports in the country. He told the National Assembly members that he knows with the right policies on ground, the customs revenue will continue to increase before the end of 2021.
Why are we having problem meeting our target? And despite the fact that the National Assembly has put in everything that is necessary to get us moving and collecting the targeted revenue. Mr. Chairman, let me start by saying, unlike my brother in the NNPC, the job of customs is unpredictable. We rely on the market forces that drives the import of items into Nigeria. And as of today, Mr. Chairman, the bulk of our revenue comes from import. In most climes where the customs collect revenue, they rely mostly on excise. And that means the production within the country. Today in Nigeria, as you know very well, Mr. Chairman, the only excise we are authorized to collect is on tobacco and alcoholic beverages.
He speaks further on revenue generation on customs activities in Nigeria.
Today, Coca-Cola is produced in Nigeria and paying no excise. It's only in Nigeria that you find Coca-Cola products and they're not paying excise duty. All other carbonated drinks are also injurious to our health. So if we equally tax tobacco and alcoholic beverages, I see no reason why we should not tax the carbonated drinks. We have said this for the past 5 years I've been on this seat. And up to today, we have not been able to get it through. Why? The reason why, I don't know. So, Mr. Chairman, my submission is simple. We will continue to rely on the unpredictable atmosphere to collect as much as we can, but for us to be precise and more predictable, I think we must pay more attention to our industries and extract excise from them. That will be more predictable and much more realizable. And of course, for every import duty we collect, we are, as a matter of fact, encouraging other countries to produce. For every import that comes into our country, it is our money that goes out to finance those factories and give jobs to their own people. Whereas in our own case, we are not producing. So, Mr. Chairman, to say this is that the National Assembly should also help and see how, on the whole, totality of it, we can encourage domestic production, because that is the only way we can sustain our economy and, of course, sustain the revenue collection for the Nigerian Customs Service. This is one of the biggest challenges the Nigerian Customs has, and I don't think it's only Nigerian Customs Service, it's the global problem to all customs administrations. Even the most advanced customs administrations suffer the calamities of smuggling because of the penchant of our people to move across items that are either prohibited on prohibition list or those that would attract the duty, but for some reason they evade the duty. So this is not only our problem, but it's a global problem. And in Nigeria, ours is even the worst, because our people are the most non-compliant group of people. I must say this and say it with all sense of responsibility. If we measure in terms of compliance, our people are not ready to comply. And therefore, you find out that for every 10 container that we examine, you hardly find 5, in most cases, that are fully in line with declaration. The rest are either underdeclared, in connivance between the importers, the freight forwarders, and of course our officers in some cases. So this is one of the fundamental reasons why smuggling still continues to strive. Along our borders, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, we have put in place what we feel is adequate in terms of managing smuggling. We have a 3-layer enforcement. We have the area commands that are deployed in the borders. We have the federal operation units, and we have the strike force, which are always on standby for any credible information to strike. These have yielded adequate result, but certainly that has not curbed smuggling. And I must say here, Mr. Chairman, that for us to stop smuggling completely is probably unheard of. But we are working assiduously to reduce it to the barest minimum. And we need a lot of other input in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, and of course, most importantly, Mr. Chairman, is that I've said this in so many forums, and I will repeat it here, is that the non-cooperation of our border citizens is one of our biggest problems. And I don't blame them, because when you go to these border communities, Mr. Chairman, you find out that in most cases, there's no governance, there's no presence of government there.
The recently promoted custom officers in the country has been speaking to members of the press about the decoration as approved by the management of Nigerian Customs Service. The Assistant Controller General of Customs in the headquarters says the promotion will further help the system to improve and generate more revenue for the country.
I thank God Almighty for making this possible. Then the CGC for looking out for the best. And if you look at, since his assumption as the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, he always go for the best. He look at officers, their performances, and he looks for integrity. So for me, I feel very, very happy, humble, and elated for this decoration to Assistant Controller General of Customs.
Yeah, what did
That day, his speech can be attributed to like a sermon, because he talked about integrity, he talked about service, and he talked about accountability. That whatever you see happen is from God, and that he expects all of us promoted and decorated on that day to have it behind our mind that we are going to be accountable for whatever action we do, and that discipline is one of the issues he has talked about. and that he wishes us all well, and he wishes us success in the performance of our duties. The office of the ACG headquarters is concerned. It's it's attached to the office of the CGC. The office is responsible for the administration of the office of the CGC, and that revenue-wise lies with tariff and trade. But overall, there is an improvement in the revenue generation of the service. The service is doing well and we are on course. And by the end of the year, we are going to meet the target given to us as a service. We are going to meet that target. Since he came on board, he has changed the way promotions are being conducted. Once there is no any disciplinary issue, officers that have passed the requisite examination and the criteria, they are given their promotion as at when due. And the promotion is based purely on performance, not on who you know or how long you stay on a rank. Once you are able to pass the exams, pass the requisite criteria, and based on availability of vacancy to each and every rank, officers are promoted. And very soon, another set of promotion is going to be set in motion.
You are watching the program Customs Report. Private aircraft operators in Nigeria have been urged to come forward and fine-tune their documentation as approved by management of the Nigerian Customs Service. The Deputy Controller of Customs and also Deputy PRO has this to say on the Customs instruction on the latest on private aircraft operators in the country. He urged them to come forward and present their documentation, or else their aircraft will be seized by government.
Between the 7th of June and the 6th of August this year, we requested for all private airline operators to come to the Tariff and Trade Department of the Nigerian Customs Service for the verification of all their import documents. And this exercise, which spanned about a month, eventually resulted in 86 private jets and aircraft operators, coming to the Nigerian Customs Service to show us the kind of documents that they use in bringing in their aircrafts into the country. Also, the exercise revealed that of this number, 57 of them were verified as commercial charter operators. And these commercial charter operators had no problems with their documentation, and they were given a clean bill of health, and were also advised to proceed to the Tariff and Trade Department to get their certificate of clearance. The other group were 29 private jet and aircraft owners who were found to be liable to pay customs duties. Now, this group where their aircrafts were valued and the appropriate duty for them was captured and the DNs raised. In a subsequent pronouncement, they were also advised to proceed to the Tariff and Trade Department to pay the duty that were assigned to them as per the value ascribed to their various aircrafts. As I said earlier, of this 86 number, the 57 and the 29 that had been attended to, the service also found another group. We had 62 private aircraft operators who throughout the exercise did not show up. They didn't show up at all. But we had details of their documents from the supervising department, and we published those details in the newspapers, in 3 national newspapers. And we
some newly decorated controllers of the Nigerian Customs Service has ended a 5-day retreat conference in Abuja. The 5-day retreat conference was declared closed by the Contractor of Customs. Was represented by the Deputy Controller General of Customs in charge of Human Resources in Abuja.
Delegation of authority, and delegation must be effective delegation. And how do you do effective delegation? First and foremost, you should be able to identify the pertinent issues. What are the issues that, based on the task or responsibility you have been assigned, that you really to understand which are the tasks that you need to personally be responsible for the success and implementation of that responsibility. These are the tasks you need to understand. These are the tasks you need not to delegate. You need to be personally responsible for the successful implementation of those responsibilities.
It is what you do here that determines what will be in the future. Number 2, please endeavor to carry your officers along, those under you. Teach them. Most of us are on our way out of the service. We should not leave them the way they are now. Their level of knowledge of the service, their level of discipline is not encouraging. It is our responsibility as leaders to guide them, to teach them, to encourage them.
It's been it's been quite revealing and refreshing. Retreat after every promotion or to the rank of comptroller can only reposition your knowledge, your perception of the service.
Opportunity has been given to us to be innovative and to contribute. You see, it's a significant departure from the past, where you have to wait for management to take the decision and dish to us. Now we are expected to take decisions, pass it to management for them to formulate into policy and then bring back to us for implementation.
Goods worth billions of naira has been pounded by members of the Nigerian Customs Service operating in Zone A in Lagos. The acting controller said that the consignments are mainly bags of foreign rice smuggled into Nigeria through the unapproved route. He speaks more on the seizures.
An ingenious concealment. Ingenious in the sense that both prohibited items, foreign rice and frozen poultry products, they are inside this compartment. As you can see, we are still digging in. Maybe we might still see any other injurious things ahead. But so far, the first attachment we opened, we thought it was frozen poultry products. Now we are seeing rice again. So we are moving. What I'm telling the people now is that no matter how ingenious they are in ensuring that they deceive government, they deceive us, we're after them. We are a step ahead of them. They can never go scot-free.
He also speaks on the 16 vehicles allocated to the FOU by the CG to fight smuggling across the western part of the country.
We keep having problem of lack of vehicles. But now the CGC has magnanimously given us 16 at once. It has never happened. So which means he's determined to ensure that we succeed. And with this given to us, by the special grace, I promise you there will be an increase. There will be turnaround in the fight against smuggling.
The acting controller in charge of Katsina Command has continued to preach to members of the public and smugglers operating in the city, saying that the Nigerian Customs Service will make sure that any consignment brought in without approval will be seized by government. So the service will continue to monitor any consignment coming from the border into the country. It speaks more on the seized consignments by the Nigerian Customs Service.
Inside the port. Now look at the Nigerian products now. You can clearly see, they bring them, you can hardly see which one is which. In fact, some of the Nigerian products are even far better, more cleaner than even the foreign type, which you don't even know how long. Today, we are talking about more than 200 plus million companies as a result of this federal government policy. And as such, employments, so many employments were created. Taxes, the government is generating revenue. We are not talking about the only federal government. What of the state government and the local government? Look at the employment there. Look at the people, the carriers, food vendors, and what have you. So this is part of the importance, that is the importance of Nigerian Customs Service by suppressing smuggling. The more you suppress the smuggling, the better for the country to depend on its capacity. As well, you have what? Gain your foreign reserve, which could have been used. Look at all this rice. How much was used, that is importation of rice before, and how much now? Officially, go to the CBN, no single Form M will be issued. There's no will be issued with foreign, that is pounds, that is dollars, to go and buy rice elsewhere. No. It's banned. Therefore, that money is saved.
Goods worth millions of naira have been impounded by the Federal Operational Zone B in Kaduna State. The unit also impounded various kinds of consignments from smugglers operating in the region.
We have 98 seizures. These seizures comprising of 33 units of vehicles. These 33 units is broken into 18 of it is a means of conveyance. What do I mean by means of conveyance? The vehicle that carried the illicit product is also liable for arrest. The balance of 15 are other imported vehicles that came through various points without proper import document. As you must be aware, it is the policy of federal government to restrict the importation of motor vehicles through land borders. Only ports are allowed to receive imported vehicles for control purpose. We have also 944 bags of foreign parboiled rice in 50 kg. They are there outside, you can see it. Because of this increase in our capacity to arrest this product, you hardly see rice around for any reason. Our officers are on ground, and nobody can compromise the issue of rice because you know the robust policies, agricultural policies federal government put in place to ensure the production, the farming of rice into Nigeria, because it has a lot of advantages that we reap as Nigerians, ranging from employment generation, conservation of foreign exchange, reduction of crime, because people will get job. If you are jobless, you think of evil. The next item is 524 kegs of foreign vegetable oil. They are all outside, you see it. As you know, vegetable oil too is not allowed to come, especially in this this manner. In the wisdom of the Controller General of Customs, and in order to improve our capacity in our anti-smuggling operation, he decided and approved the release of 13 operational vehicles as you can see them. I'm pretty sure by the time I deploy these vehicles today, the story will change. All those areas that we have been incapacitated to visit will be there, and we will get them. We promise and ensure the vehicle will be used as directed. The drivers and the patrol operators, leaders, must ensure these vehicles are maintained very well so that its own durability will last for a very long time. We are happy to receive these items from the Secretariat of Customs, and we assure Nigerians that Customs, in our own way, we will double our effort to ensure those illicit items that are coming to Nigeria are reduced to the barest minimum level.
Just before the end of this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where goods worth millions of naira was intercepted by FOU Zone A in Lagos. For me, Igiseme Itinye, thanks for watching.